next song is called Cool Rocky River, and I wrote this, and again it was inspired by two things: by watching children play in the river and by the beautiful White River, which is just on our doorstep. It's cute. This song is called Feasting on the Bayou, and I wrote it. And it was inspired, my husband's from a community in southern Louisiana, and the name of it is called Bayou Grand Caillou, Dulac, Louisiana, and Bayou Grand Caillou. Bayou, by the way, is the Indian word for river, and Grand Caillou is the French word for big stone. Anyway, these people who live on Bayou Grand Caillou are, for the most part, very poor, but extremely generous, and every time you walk in their house, they want to feed you. So this song is about all the people and the food that they're always so generous to offer.
Go for it.
1, 2. Wherever I go, I take with me a piece of my memory of Bayou, Grand Caillou. Folks there would take me in and always ask me with a grin to eat that. Hey, do you want to be standing on the bayou?
don't go. Please don't go. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind.
As I lay in your bed in the morning,
Without you, without you,
every song in my heart lies upon it.
without you, without you. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. That was the last thing on my mind. A couple years ago, there was a rally for Act 48 for publicly financed healthcare in the state of Vermont, which is something that I'm a strong supporter of. And there was a rally, and I decided to write a song for it. But I was very nervous about playing it. That I've never done anything like that. Bernie Sanders was there, Governor Shumlin was there. The night before, I was with a friend, and I was just thinking, this song is not good enough. And what am I doing there, inserting myself into this political event? And he very kindly said, well, you know, if you don't take a risk, if you don't stick your neck out, you never make anything happen. So I decided to do it. And the upshot is that Hilde was there, and I think that's the first time you had seen me play.
Right.
And then, you know, later on said, let's play together. And so I always think back to that. The rally went well, but there was this unexpected kind of benefit to taking a chance like that. You never know what will happen.
Yeah.
And so,
And it did actually result in a benefit for Good Neighbor Health Clinic, because at that time I was working for Good Neighbor Health Clinic as the executive director, and Adam was one of the volunteers. And as volunteers come and go throughout the day, I'll talk to them about various things, and I knew that a bunch of them were musicians, but I'd never heard any of them play. And then when I saw Adam playing, I thought, boy, it would be so much fun to hear all these other volunteers, what they've got going. And so we actually organized a benefit called Music is Medicine the year later, that we had Dr. Buffet, Contra Dance Band, Dr. Nierberg plays the cello in a, I think it was a quartet, a chamber orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people are musicians secretly and many times won't play out in front of other people, but sometimes if you can coax them, it's really fun to see that other creative side of a person.
Mm-hmm.
When I write songs, it's usually a single instant, an image that makes me think about writing a song. For example, the last song that I wrote, I had just put a blueberry pie in the oven, and my favorite place to play the guitar is actually on my front porch. So the front door was open, it's a beautiful sunny summer day, and I'm sitting on the front porch and I smell the blueberry pie, which is just awesome, I must say. And so that inspired me to write a song about starting out with the smell of blueberry pies and stuff like that. So it's usually a moment, an instant that gives me a single thought. Sometimes, on a couple of occasions, one of the songs we're going to play here later, Little Sister, is sometimes people like my music, which is nice, and they'll say, can you write a song for me? And so that's a little bit hard because, I don't know, you're trying to look for inspiration. And we'll talk about, like that particular inspiration, I guess I can talk about it now. That young woman was adopted at the age of 8 from Ethiopia. And at 8 years old, you don't have any choice about where you're going in life. And so she went from Ethiopia to the United States. And that transplant really didn't work for her. She never felt at home with her family and her place. And when I visited her, or she came to visit me, and we were talking, and she told me, this is my favorite song, and she queued it up for me on a YouTube, and it was in an Ethiopian language, so I didn't understand it, but what she was telling me is, this is about going home. This is my favorite song, is about going back to Ethiopia, how no matter how long you're gone, you always feel drawn back. And so the song that I wrote, Little Sister, is thinking about her as, she's young enough to be my daughter, but I was thinking of her as a little sister, is if she were my sister and taken away from me in Ethiopia, what would I have to say to her today, and how would I say that? And so that was a song I wrote for her because I knew that about her, and also especially because when she told me what moved her the most was thinking about going home. So, and this one is called Little Sister. Little sister, where have you gone to? It's been 12 long years since we last saw you. Too young for a voice in the choice made that day, but too old not to feel something deep torn away. Fly through the sky, little sister.
sister, fly on the wind, come back home. Fly on the wind, come back home. So this is definitely a good example of one of my musical heroes when I really started getting into music in the 1980s. I thought that all of the great players, you'd have to see them in some sort of stadium situation, or just, they were more or less inaccessible and just heard on records they had put out years ago. But when I got into college, people like Bill Staines would come around and play in small coffee houses, which was just wonderful. The other thing is I had a radio show in college, and they would be actually willing to come on my radio show. I didn't understand how the business worked, but it was important for Bill Staines or Greg Brown or people like that. They would actually seek me out to play on my radio show. Who could beat that?
Yeah, sounds good.
That's how I learned to play some. So this is a Bill Staines song, probably his best known song, because so many others, Nancy Griffith included, have recorded it. This is called Roseville Fair.
Oh, the night was clear, and the stars were shining, and the moon came on, so quiet in the sky. All the people gathered round, and the band was a-tuning. I can hear them now, they coming through the ride.
You were dressed in blue, and you looked so lovely, just a gentle flower of a small town girl. You took my hand, and we stepped to the music with a single smile. You became my world, and we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo. Their drifting tune seemed to fill the air so long ago, but I still remember how we fell in love at the Roseville Fair.
Oh, we courted hard, and we courted clearly, and we walked for hours on the front porch chair.
Then a year went by from the time that I met you, and I made you mine at the Roseville Fair. And we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo. Their drifting tune seemed to fill the air so long ago, but I still remember how we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. And here's a song for all of the lovers, and here's a tune that they can share. May they dance all night to the fiddle and the banjo, the way we did at the Roseville Fair. May they dance all night to the fiddle and the banjo, the way we did at the Roseville Fair.
The next one is Elana Song, and this is an original one by me, Hilde Ojibway, and I wrote it for my youngest daughter, seeing how quickly people grow up from babies to strong young adults. So that's what inspired me for this one.
Now it covers a number of years. How old was she when you actually wrote it?
She was a teenager. I think I got, you know, you get inspired in a second, a moment. and it was seeing her in her beautiful purple prom dress, but riding on horseback on some other kids joking around. It was like, wow, she's a woman, but she's still a kid. So here we go.
Boy, there were no songs coming out of my girl's teenage years, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe the blues.
Right.
Okay.
Little baby with big brown eyes, lots of laughs, she hardly cries. In the world with a flying start, just one look, she had my heart. Oh, I never knew what a baby could do. Little girl out on the run, chasing balls and having fun. Starting over if there's a fight, she wants everyone to feel alright. Oh, I'm starting to see what this little girl might be. And the days they fade away, there's nothing you can do to make one moment stay. In your heart, this thing you know about holding on and letting go. Little woman in a purple gown, elegant though she's horsing around. On her feet she wears simple shoes. She can go wherever she chooses. Oh, I've known for a while this girl, she's gonna fly. And the days they fade away, there's nothing you can do to make one moment stay. In your heart, this thing you know about holding on and letting go. She's a dreamer, I see it plain, overcoming her fear and pain. She's out to change the world. That's my baby, that's my girl. Oh, I know why. This girl, she's gonna fly. My baby's gonna fly.
Well, when I make up songs for particular people, whether it's friends or family, a lot of times they don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm just making up the song and playing around. And then when I get it to a decent point where it doesn't sound horrible, then I play it for them and say, what do you think? And when my daughter was younger, she would like those songs privately, but she was embarrassed if any of her friends knew that she had a song after her. That's when she was 16. But it was interesting when she went off to college. I had a really particularly bad day. I don't remember what happened that day, but I was really feeling down, and I came home and I found that she had put on Facebook and said, I'm really missing my mom right now, and she had that song up. She uploaded it. She had asked me during her first college break, can you play that song for me, because I miss you and I want to have that song with me. So I played it, and I thought it was really sweet that she missed me enough to want to take it with her, and then at some point when she was a little bit more mature, she wanted to share it with other people. So I think she liked it.
I've seen her react positively.
Yeah, and she likes what Adam has done with it. Adam's added some things, so it's just like her. I mean, she keeps changing, so the song can change. Maybe I'll add a verse when she gets a little older. So mostly Adam and I just play at each other's house for fun, but playing out helps us practice a little bit harder so that we feel like we shouldn't make as many mistakes as we might between the two of us. So if people are interested in hearing us play, we try to do as many First Fridays in White River Junction as the schedule allows, although many times Adam is working. But there's that, and I don't know where else we can play. And one of the things that I did just over a year ago, because I'm already sensing I'm losing my mind. I mean, I make up songs and then I forget them. So I did a CD, and it's called Halfway There. And I did this CD because I think if I didn't record or write down the songs, I would forget them. And so I wanted to leave something. And this isn't something I think is going to be a huge commercial success. It's more like a gift card I give to family and friends. But secretly, not so secretly, my dream is that somebody will hear one of these songs, really love them, take it, and run with it. So that's kind of what we're doing right now with our music. And of course, here we are today with you. So this last one is called Thank You, and I wrote it specifically for the benefit for the Good Neighbor Health Clinic, because I think oftentimes people, when they're helped by others, are not in a place at that moment to even say thank you. But I know from my life and from so many people that they really want to express their thanks for the people who reach out and help them. So this is called Thank You.
It's such a nice one to end whenever we play.
Yeah.
I always feel good about that.
There comes a